Hi guys, so I wanted to show you my workspace today and the supplies I use for my watercolors because I've been getting a lot of questions about it. So I'm trying to do this like in a vlogging style, so please bear with me. I'm still trying to figure things out, but that's okay because we have to start somewhere, right? So this is where I do most of my watercolors. Sometimes I just sit on the floor by my couch, but most of the time I'm just sitting here working. Um, it's just a little desk. It used to be our dining table, but now it's my desk, which is okay. So I just wanted to go through some of my supplies with you. I first wanted to say this is what I started out with. So we all have to start somewhere, right? So I used to, if I can get this open, these are the watercolors I used to use. I think these are like Bronzale or something. I don't really know. This is like a thing I've had since I was a child, and I just was messing around with paints and just coloring and stuff. But I used it a little bit when I started out the past year with watercolor again. But this is just very cheap and like it's very dry for some reason. I don't really like how you can't really mix colors with this. So, it's very limited, but it's okay to start out with. And then when I really got into the watercoloring, I bought this Van Gogh. I think this is a travel kit, maybe. There's 12 colors. They're not in there anymore. I have all my paints over here now. But, if you want to start with watercolor, this might be something you could buy. I think this was like 18 euros. I don't really know anymore, but, it's okay. You get the little mixing tray with it. I just wanted to add a few more colors, so I put them in there eventually. So I'll just show you my paints now. This is like a DIY paints box, I think. I didn't really know what to do with my new added pens, so I asked my dad and he came up with a great solution. So I just have I had a little strip of metal, so here, and then just I glued it to the back of these, and they're like magnets. So I just put them in here and they just stay, and I can add however many I want. So as you can see, I added a few, and I just keep refilling these now with my paint tube. So for example, this green I use all the time. I think this is sap green from Van Gogh, but now I'm just refilling it with a Winsor & Newton tube, which is fine. They mix well together. And then over here I have my mixing tray, which is not my favorite thing to use, but it's great to just mix like one solid color, and then most of the time when I want to mix like a few more colors in, like with the greens, I just use this paper. I don't really know what it's called, but like one of these blocks, this one is almost gone, but one of these blocks is like, I think 50 cents or something. So it's okay, and I just can throw this out when I'm done with it. So that's what I use most of the time to mix. And then over here I have the paper I use most of the time, which is like a very cheap paper from Action. It's a Dutch store. I think it's also in Germany, but I don't really know for sure. This is a 135 gram paper, and as you can see, it has 28 sheets, like a really big A3. Oh, this is one I'm going to post today. So 28 sheets of this, of A3 paper, and I think this was like €1.70, so I don't really know for sure, but like under €2. It's super cheap, but I really like this because it's really smooth. I do have like watercolor paper, like a 300 gram paper, but it's very yeah, a little bit grainy, so I don't really like painting on it. I use this most of the time, which is fine. I'm just trying to figure out like something in between. Like this is really, really cheap, and that other stuff is really, really like thick. I'm just trying to find something in between. So maybe if you have a recommendation, I would love to hear that because I'm still looking for it. And then over here I have two jars, which one is for my water, which I haven't cleaned. I'm so lazy with it. And like a little jar of, I think the things I just use most, and my brushes. It started out as a brushes jar, but you know, I'm throwing so much shit in there. I don't really know anymore. So the things I use most, and there's a lot of questions about my brushes. So I use this one a whole lot, which is a focus. Oh, it doesn't really focus. It's a Panduro Hobby brush. I think this came with a starter set of Winsor & Newton tubes. I think it says 2.0 on it, so I don't really know, but it's a small brush. I like it for like small lines and stuff. And then I have one that's even smaller, which is this one. You can barely see it. It's a Rembrandt 000 brush. So the smallest one that is. This was like, I think, €1.50, so really cheap too. But it's a great brush for like tiny details. And then the bigger one I tend to grab the most is this one, which is a Winsor & Newton Cutman number 4 brush. I don't know how I got this really. I think maybe I ordered this online together with, you know, those other two. And I really like it. It's getting a bit, I've used it so much, so it's getting a bit like rough, but you know, it's fine. It does the job, and I like it. It's fine. And then over here I have some bigger paint brushes, but I don't really use those often because, as you may know, I tend to make paintings that are quite detailed. And then over here I have this brush, which is like the cheapest thing ever from Action as well. This is not for watercolor. This is just a brush I use to brush away like the thingies from when the eraser thingies, you know, that are always stuck on your paper. So I use that for that. And then I have my Micron Pigma fine liners, which I think everybody has these. I have 3 of them, the 02, 04 and 08, and I really like them a lot. I use them all of the time. And then just in here I have some regular pencils and my eraser, which is like a really old one, but I still really like it. And then over here I have a little thingy filled with, you know, other pens I use, not that often, but and ones that have to stay, like you can't store upright, but you have to keep them like flat. So this is my very much loved gold marker, which I've got a lot of questions about, but it's from Hema, which is a store in Holland. So I'm sorry if you're not in Holland, or I think in Germany you can't get these. And then also I have some like brush pens and stuff, but I don't really use those often because I just suck at those. I'm not comfortable enough to really use those, so I'm just keeping them in here for now, for later. And then over there I still have some, yeah, things I don't really use that often, but you know, they have to be stored somewhere. These are twin markers, which I don't really use ever, but you know, they were cheap from Action as well, so I just wanted to try those out. I have a few colors. And then over here I have scraps of paper because I don't like to waste paper, so I just use tiny scraps for like just for paintings, or maybe for like swatches like these. And these are great for Instagram pictures as well, if you are looking for something to, you know, do a good flat lay with. And then over there is just some other brushes that I don't really use, and scissors to cut my paper and stuff. So I got cut off there, but just, you know, to let you know, this is a palette with paints in it from my Winsor & Newton tubes, which I don't really like this thing, so I don't use it that often, but you know, I just keep it over there. And then up here are some of the, it is more like storage. So here are some of my paint tubes to refill my pens, and that's the paper I was talking about earlier, which is okay, but you know, I just think it's too greeny, but I just keep it over there for, well, maybe some other time, some projects I might work on soon. And then this is just storage. This is like tape, acrylic, white paint, and masking fluid, and just some random things. I don't use it often, but you know, I just want to keep there. And then, oh, if you have followed me from the very start of my Instagram account, you may know this. This is my Moleskine sketchbook, which I used like at the start of my painting journey. So this is filled with really crappy paintings, really. And then over here, there's just a binder full of, well, I don't really know, like papers and things I don't use that often, but you know, they have to be somewhere. And then this is my map filled with, yeah, well, all the paintings I made recently. Well, there's a lot of them. I used to, you know, put them in like these things, but now they're just, it's overflowing, so I just keep it like that. So that's really it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can ask them on my Instagram account. And thank you for watching. Bye!